Greetings. It's your brother Roman Cicadas Bay. I'm making this video for the pigs of the social system, Virgo Triad and Swindle Hoodwink. I would suggest you tread very, very carefully. I don't make threats. I just make promises. Please, Virgo Triad, you, and Swindle Hoodwink, you, tread very, very, very carefully. You know, because this is what I think of you. This is what I think of you. I could say a lot more egregious things, but this is what I think of you. You know.
The facts matter.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is November 9th, 2020. Happy Monday to everyone. So what you just witnessed was a very childish threat by a very childish individual who is feeling his bottom line getting damaged. And it's because we're exposing the group that he's involved in. What you're looking at currently on your screen right now is a set of text messages that were actually forwarded to me by a subscriber of mine that also happens to be a Moor. We're going to be taking a look at this set of text messages, and the reason why it's so important is because it exposes a very big scam that's going on within the same group that the individual who you just heard making threats has involvement with. Now, for those of you that would like to hear the entire 30-minute rant, where he goes on to call me all kinds of names and different ad hominem attacks that he makes, and of course threatens that he knows the law better than God and, well, the judges themselves, he makes all kinds of statements that I'm sure you will find amusing. I'll be happy to put the link in the description below. But personally, it honestly is not worth it for me to go through each individual little thing, because this person is largely irrelevant. I don't mean irrelevant in the sense that he's not a human being. I mean irrelevant in the sense that when you spend your life doing nothing but LARPing and scamming others, you have to expect that people are going to expose you. And when you spend your life doing that kind of damage to other people, and you make threats such as the threats you've made, people don't tend to take you very seriously, and they're certainly not going to feel like you are victimized in any way. So, in my opinion, a person who's wasting their life doing these things is irrelevant. But of course, that's what these people are worried about most, being irrelevant. You see, they feel disenfranchised. They feel as though their voices are not heard, and as a result, they make up these fairy tales. They put down other people and attempt to try to divide in order to try to conquer. They're part of a very large group and what they like to call a movement that in reality is attempting to try to do things in the wrong way, in every single sense of the word. From actually trying to change history, to attempting to try to scam others, all the way to trying to overthrow the government in order to try to make it their own. Instead of attempting to go along and get along, and doing things the right way by changing legislature through voting and through presenting what their issues are as the general society, they feel that they need to give themselves titles and turn themselves into things that they are not. Keep in mind that this is the same person that was actually thrown out of the Canadian airline that I did a video on last week It's also the same person that Swindle Hoodwinked contacted by phone, and we believe the person who called himself the Prince of Wales, or the King of Wales at one point. So, again, the irrelevance is shining through. But I don't take threats mildly, as you know, and I have submitted this over to the FBI, and it's always nice when they do video evidence, because, of course, that substantiates anything necessary in terms of whether or not the threat is credible. So moving on from there, once again though, if you do want to see that, it's in the description of the video. But regardless, we are going to be moving on from there and talking about this particular set of text messages. So my subscriber, who also happens to be a Moor and is kind of sitting on the fence right now, had found some information apparently on Facebook, I believe they said, and it had to do with a special kind of grant. So they were inquiring about that grant. I was actually really shocked to hear about what that grant was advertised as. But let's take a look. So the person that they're speaking to is apparently someone by the name of Carolyn. We're going to go into that later. But the information that they requested came back with this response from Carolyn. To apply, you need to contact the Secretary of the Commission to apply for the grant. You contact him through text messages because he is hard of hearing. His name is Sheikh Davis Muhammad, and then she gives a phone number. My subscriber says, Secretary of Commission of what state? And she says, the commission is 19. Stimulus Relief Grant Commission. The commission comprises of United Nations, America Federal Reserve District and Islamic Worldwide Foundior. Alright, moving on to the next message. This says you can get the grant within 7 working days. And my subscriber says, who is Sheikh Davis Muhammad? He is the Secretary of the Commission, and he is the one in charge of the application. My subscriber says, do you have a copy of the application? Carolyn says, no. He is one that will apply for you. Carolyn comes back with a short video of 27 seconds that says this are proof of people who have benefited from the grant. My subscriber says, I need more proof, documentation please. A fee, how much? Carolyn comes back and says, you only pay $200 for application and you get the grant within 7 working days. My subscriber did some deeper digging and then got back with, I'm not sure if this is the same person, and asked about, again, interest in the grant. And as you see here, what was provided back to them was, you can apply for $250,000 as an individual, or you apply for $5 million if you have a registered company with a corporate account. Which one do you like to apply for? The conversation continued, and as you can see, they began to ask for personal information. You will give us your full name and address to apply for you. You will take pictures of any of your identity cards, like driver's license or state ID, and send to me to apply for you. Then my subscriber says, I'd rather have a form to fill out. As the conversation continues, they, of course, do not provide him with the form, but want the commissioner, quote-unquote, to fill out the application for them. This is obviously very close to the Nigerian scam where you give money in order to get a large sum of money, as they claim. But the interesting part to me was this particular part of the text messaging. Very similarly to the other messages that you just saw on the white background, we're back at the ending of the conversation with Carolyn, where she says, "You might as well walk away. You are doing as if I'm forcing you to apply for the grant. I am not trying to convince you." My subscriber says, "I would like to see the application." Carolyn says, "Talk to the sheik. He applies for people. You don't get to see the application form." So 2 different tactics are used here, both clearly running the same scam. You will see that on the one on the white background, which I do not know the name of the party that my subscriber was speaking to, they claim they are the secretary of the 19 Stimulus Grant Relief Commission. They also state here that they cannot send an application because the social media page was hacked from China and I have to disable everything. So my subscriber requests a website and they provide Secretary of Commission, USAR. USAR, of course, being United States of America Republic. The same exact jerks that we've been doing exposés on for quite a while now, but most recently we've done exposés on individuals, including Roman Bay, that are involved with the USAR, including Kevin Gunnell, that's involved with the USAR, also known as Mr. L, who both myself and Swindle Hoodwinked have debated. The worst part about these individuals is that they don't have the good intent that they claim to have. They claim to be standing up for their group of people because they have been wronged in some manner. But in reality, what they're really doing is scamming their own group of people. And this is hard proof of it. Although I know that my subscribers don't generally need to see hard proof of it, I will absolutely 100% be thrilled to put this out there in the ether so that the followers can see the proof of it. I'll encourage all of you to please take a look at the link that I'm going to provide to you in order for you to be able to witness the threat that has been made upon myself and Mr. Swindle Hoodwinked. You'll see the hypocrisy and you'll see the childishness, but mainly you'll see the anger and the hatred. You'll see that they contradict themselves, and that's what con artists do. And for you, Mr. Roman Bay, who is, of course, waiting for a response, my only response to you is this: I don't think you understand who you are dealing with. And if you think for a moment that your threat will stop me from exposing any scammers, anyone that goes out to try to hurt other people that are innocent, anyone who is a con artist, and anyone who is a coward that thinks that such a threat, being made to a female specifically, would stop me from exposing you, you're just dead wrong, sir. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I sincerely hope that these people find their way out of the mess that they have now gotten themselves much deeper into. Bye-bye.